Good day, Bio 14 student. Please allow me to give you a brief orientation about Bio 14 Integrative Biology, particularly the lecture component. You are advised not only to watch this video but also to download the Bio 14 course guide from your LMS site for a thorough overview about the course's topics, policies, and requirements. So let's begin. Information about the course. Bio 14 is Integrative Biology. It's a comprehensive course in biology that covers fundamental principles, concepts, and applications in the life sciences. I highlighted the word comprehensive, meaning most of the subfields under biology will be covered by this course. So if you were a STEM graduate, I hope that the topics that should be covered in your high school STEM classes for biology were indeed covered. This is not an introductory biology class kasi, no? If you are a non-STEM graduate, I really suggest that you try to do more readings to be able to catch up with the topics that we're going to discuss in this class. Because there are so many topics to handle, there will be very little time actually to discuss na introductory yung approach for this course. So this course credit for the course credit, this course carries a load of 5 units. So 3 units lecture, 2 units laboratory. So 3 hours of lecture and then 6 hours of laboratory per week. So if you are a BS in biology major, so this is a prerequisite course and a program retention course for the BS in biology program. If you fail Bio 14, then you will not be allowed actually to proceed to the BS in biology program. For the other programs like BS in fisheries, BS in food technology, and BS in public health, I think some of your courses would have Bio 14 as a prerequisite course. So you need to pass Bio 14 in order to proceed with the other courses in your program. For Bio 14, in order to pass the course, you need to pass both Bio 14 lecture and Bio 14 laboratory. So later this week, you will get to know who your Bio 14 laboratory instructors are. In some cases, you have the same instructor for the lecture and the lab. In some cases, you might have different lecturers. But in the end, no, by the end of the first semester, you will only have one final grade for Bio 14. So to earn a passing score or a passing grade, you need to have 60% score or equivalent of 3 based on the numerical scoring system of UP. So 50% of your final grade will come from your lecture and 50% will come from the laboratory. I'm Professor Altamirano, your Bio 14 lecture instructor. Please call me Ma'am Reggie. I am based at the Division of Biological Sciences or BioSci at the CAS building. I am an ecologist by training. And then my email and Zoom account details are indicated in this slide. Also my Facebook account. So you can chat me up in Facebook for any questions about the course. Take note also of the consultation hours. So the consultation hours are really the time that we should spend, no, we faculty should spend in addressing any queries from students. So please take note of the consultation hours. You may also contact me outside of the consultation hours class. So for as long as you stay within office hours and weekdays. So Monday to Friday, 8 to 5. As you can see here, no, I have an appeal unless under urgent or emergency situations, please do not chat or call me up after or before office hours, weekends, and a few hours prior to deadlines or long examination. So please respect my time off outside the classroom the same way that I would also like to respect your personal time. And then please set up a Facebook chat group for your section and add me as a member for instant updates about the course. So this is recommended para mas madali yung communications with us. Information about the course and class policies are given in the Bio 14 course guide. So this is a PDF file that you can find in the Bio 14 LMS site. So by now, I expect that everybody already has access to the LMS site. So please make sure you have thoroughly read and understood the course content and policies of Bio 14. So if you have any questions, you may contact me, no, email or chat for clarifications. Take note that the university upholds honor, excellence, service. So among the three, as you can see, honor comes first. We don't care if you have high grades, pero no, you got your honors, you got your laude because you cheated your way through your degree program. So we make sure that that situation will never happen. Cheating on requirements in exams, plagiarizing references are considered as serious offenses and may be a basis for a failing grade or even dismissal from the university. So this is a gentle warning to everybody. So these are the values that we should uphold as UP constituents: honor, excellence, service. All course materials for Bio 14 are available in the UPV LMS. So make it a habit to regularly update yourselves with the course by checking always your UPV LMS site for all your courses. Now, Bio 14 will be delivered via a blended learning mode. So what do we mean by this? So there will be times that I will be lecturing in class, traditional approach of delivering courses. And then there will be times for certain topics that you will or you should study the topics independently. And then activities can be held outside of the classroom, online, asynchronously. Now, the course is designed for independent learning. So this means that you really need to study, no, given the nature of this course, that you need to study in advance prior to class interactions. As I mentioned earlier, this is quite a heavy course, especially if you're not a STEM graduate. So please read ahead. We'll try to help you know if you will find it quite difficult to grasp some topics. Now, for face-to-face sessions, so these face-to-face sessions are for lectures, synthesis of online lessons, clarifications, and for assessment. So the assessment could be problem sets or quizzes or maybe recitation. So iba-iba yun, no, per topic. And then during face-to-face sessions, attendance will be checked. If out of the total of the F2F sessions, you are absent for 20% or around, this is around 6 sessions, you will be automatically dropped. For whatever reason, no, bakit kayo absent? If 20% is already reached, then you will be dropped. So that means that you won't earn any grade for Bio 14, and that means you have to repeat again the course. For learning activities in class, so from time to time, I give quizzes. And so please don't ask, oh, ma'am, meron bang quiz next meeting, no, after I wrap up a certain topic? Please always be prepared and bring your yellow sheet, bring pen. Okay, you are already in college. No, not all the things that you need to do will be instructed. Kasi yun nga, we are trying to develop independent learning in you. And I hope this is clear. This is a quick orientation about the LMS course site. So please check your LMS course site for Bio 14. Make sure that the section number matches the section number as indicated in your Form 5. And then the first document that you should be able to see is the Bio 14 lecture course guide. Again, it details all the content in terms of topics, the requirements, and then even the schedules for learning activities for Bio 14. If you scroll down the LMS site, you will already see the contents broken down into topics. So under each topic, for example, topic 1 is Nature of Biology and Introduction to the Cell. For each topic, you will see a study guide. So the study guide contains all the learning materials that you need to study for that particular topic, and then the suggested activities also. And then under each study guide, you will also see an activity guide. So the activity guide contains the instructions for the learning activities that are associated with the particular topic. And then under each activity guide, for example, if the outputs need to be submitted online, there will be bins. So when you submit the required output, you click on those bins in order to accomplish a particular requirement. So again, please check, no, have an overview or try to browse over the entire contents of each particular topic, because sometimes there will be no bins. So maybe because the activity is a face-to-face session. If you browse the contents of the course guide, you will see a big table there, no, the study schedule of the course. So the study schedule contains the actual topics that will be covered, or subtopics that will be covered under each topic for each week, and then even the activities that need to be accomplished by the students in order to pass the course. So as you can see here, even the details of whether an activity will be conducted asynchronously, online, or in class are indicated. So this plan of learning activities is for the whole semester already. However, as you will see later on, no, there will always be disruption. Sometimes it's due to bad weather or some activities, and the schedule becomes interrupted. So in that case, we always try to update. No, we do announcements. We always make sure that any modifications in the study schedule is posted in your LMS. So please be alert. How about the requirements for Bio 14 lecture? So this is the basis for grading in the lecture. 40% of your grade in the lecture will come from learning activity outputs. So again, for the topics that will be covered in the course, there will be corresponding activities. So this could be online assignments, quizzes, problem sets, and other activities. The activities may also be individual based, so individual accomplishment or accomplishment by groups. So just keep posted about group assignments, for example, groupings. And then 60% will come from unit evaluations. So yung unit evaluations are your long exams. In Bio 14, my long exams are always written exams, handwritten, face-to-face, pen and paper assessments. Okay? And then what if you miss a long exam or unit evaluation? Automatically, you'll be given a score of 0. However, if you have a valid excuse for not taking a long exam, then you just present an excuse slip issued by the college secretary. Of course, you have to apply and then get the approval, signed form of the college secretary. If it's due to sickness, then you are required to visit the health services unit of UPV to have um, an approval note also from the doctor. Okay, take note again, I'm repeating this. If a student is absent in 20% of F2F sessions and synchronous activities, the student will be forced drop from the course. So in your CRS, a grade of DRP or drop will appear. This is the grading scale for Bio 14 lecture. As you can see here in UP, the passing grade is 3. So that is equivalent to 60 to 65%. And then what you should look out for is having grades below 60%. So 55 to 59% is 4, and then below 55% is 5. So 5 means, no, if you get a grade of 5, then you really have to repeat the course. If you get a 4, what does this mean? So this is conditional failure. You will be given a chance to pass the course by taking a removal exam at the end of the semester. Okay, so this is what we call a removals. Now, if you pass that exam, which usually is comprehensive, so all the topics from the beginning of the semester is covered. If you pass that, then you will given a 3, and then you pass the course. Um, Take note though that in order to pass Bio 14, you need to get at least a grade of 3 for both the lecture and the lab. Hindi pwede na isa lang yung pasado. For example, you get 2.5 in the lecture and then you get a 4 in the lab. So that 4 needs to be removed. You really need to pass in order to get an overall passing grade for Bio 14. For example, how about an incomplete? So incomplete means the student is passing 60% and above yung status niya, but somehow that student has in, failed to accomplish certain requirements. For example, nagkasakit and was not able to take one exam. So that student will get a grade of incomplete if he or she will not be able to accomplish all the requirements by the deadline set by the instructor. If a student gets, for example, a 2.5 in the lecture and an incomplete in the laboratory, still the student has to settle that incomplete in Bio 14 lab. So I hope you get it. The student of Bio 14 must pass both the lecture and the lab components. This slide shows you that in your study schedule, the finals week is scheduled at the 18th week of the semester or the last week of the semester. So for Bio 14, the finals week is when students take the removals exam for Bio 14 lecture or laboratory. So for example, in my class, so if you get a grade of 60% and above for Bio 14 lecture, you are exempted from taking the removals for the lecture. If you get a grade of 5, for example, 49% for the lecture, that means no, this 5 is really quite final already and you failed the lecture component and therefore the whole Bio 14 course. Now, if you get a status of 55 to 59% or 4, then you have a chance to pass the lecture component by passing the removal exam. So I hope this is clear with you. So some reminders about citing references for online assignments. So I always expect that you cite any references that you use in answering the questions in your assignments. Otherwise, I will get the impression that everything came from your mind, which is impossible, I think. So how about the quality of your references? So this is a reminder that Q&A platforms, community websites are not authoritative sources of information, especially with regards to the biological sciences. Okay, so authoritative references, journals, books. Some books are already uploaded online. Authoritative or curated websites, like those curated by Nature or by Science, for example. So please avoid using community pages like Quora, Reddit. So these are, some of them are mentioned here already in the slide. So please try to do some more rigorous browsing naman, no? Most of the information are quite easy to search for because you are taking freshman biology course. Um, so I will deduct points if I see that despite this warning, people or the class still use these references. Siguro nag-copy paste lang, and whatever reference or item comes first sa Google web page, yun na yung kanilang sagot. So please try to avoid this sloppy work. Okay, so again, use primary resources, please. About the use of artificial intelligence or AI, my class policy. The use of generative AI during individual long exams or unit evaluations, in-class quizzes, short and long quizzes, and other learning activities such as solving problem sets in genetics, for example, is strictly prohibited. So I hope I am clear with that. In fact, during these critical assessments that are individual and group based, I will have to ask you to set aside or put away any gadget. Okay? Because you will be assessed for your cognitive output. And we know that generative AI or the rampant use, frequent use of generative AI will impair your cognitive functions. Or in other words, your ability to think, especially critical thinking. So, sana malinaw ito, class, ano? Definitely no AI during exams, quizzes, in-class problem sets. For certain learning activities, though, I may allow or I will allow limited use of generative AI. For example, infographic making. Up to a certain point, no, these AI tools will definitely ease out yung inyong time and effort to do these creative outputs. But not everything should be generated by AI. We would like to develop your not only your critical thinking skills but also your creativity, your ability to innovate, to be uh, innovative. Okay? So, please wait for further instructions with regards to these activities that have limited use of generative AI. And again, if ever you are allowed, no, for a particular learning activity to use generative AI, you have to make a declaration up to what extent you use generative AI. In my experience, just let me share, no, sa previous semester, those who declared, and I am believing what my students said when they said that they did not use AI versus those that declared they used AI. When I compare their outputs, those that declared that they did not use AI had better quality outputs than those that use generative AI. And also, to check, I have my own ways of checking whether you did use generative AI in certain outputs. Usually, lumalabas yon during my long examination. So, please be careful with the use of AI. It's not for me, but also for you guys. During face-to-face sessions, I would like to request the class to please refrain from taking videos of my lectures, and then please do not engage in disruptive activities. So maybe you really do not intend to interrupt me or to disrupt the class, but the thing is, when I'm lecturing, I can see everybody and I can see what everybody is doing. And it really tends to distract me, especially when I see students not paying attention, chatting, or using their gadgets for other purposes. I don't know, gaming or messaging each other Also, some would be eating or sleeping. I hope hindi nga ako maapektuhan, pero I do get affected, and I actually don't want to do this thing of calling out people anymore because you are adults. You're no longer in high school. So please try to consider that this time for face-to-face interactions with your lecturers, not only for this course but other courses, no, is very limited, and make efficient use of that class. No, we are now espousing independent learning. It's no longer spoon feeding for you guys. So please try to make use of face-to-face sessions for asking questions and making sure you understand each topic of the course, instead of doing these activities that can be disruptive and can actually, come out as being rude to your lecturers. This ends my orientation for Bio 14 lecture. It is unfortunate that we could not meet personally for this orientation because of the inconvenient schedule that we have for this year. For example, for August, we have lots of holidays that fall on Monday and Thursday, and we also have upcoming activities in the division that will fall on the set dates. However, we'll try to cope with that, and we'll try to catch up in the coming months. I hope to see you personally in class for the many activities that we have. And then personal advice, in order to pass the course, I think foremost is you need to focus, especially during the lab and lecture sessions, and try to put away the disruptive activities. Set aside those activities that I mentioned earlier, and please manage your time. I think you can verify this with the past Bio 14 students. Time management is key. With proper time management, you can set aside time for recreation, for hobbies, for social activities like going out with friends, that will keep you grounded and well balanced and happy while doing all the tough coursework here in UPV. And then what else? So please don't hesitate to ask questions, so that this will ease up the burden of studying. If you ask questions in the lab, or the lecture, approach your laboratory and lecture instructors. No, do not rely solely on your classmates or peers. And that's it, I guess. Good luck, Bio 14 students, and I hope to see you soon.